In this video, we are going to talk regional differences and similarities in Italy. I'm just gonna say it. Everyone knows about the country and the divide between North and South, but there are a bunch of smaller versions of what Italy actually is. And that is because of its regional diversity and different habits, dialects, or even languages, customs and traditions, as well as unique foods that can be discovered in the 20 regions that form Italy. So let's put everything under a lens and explore all of these regions, finding out what makes each and every one of them unique, beautiful, and worth seeing. Abruzzo is one of the greenest places in Europe, as a large chunk of it is dedicated to national parks. It's proud of boasting mountains like the Apennines and the southernmost glacier on the continent, called Gran Sasso, which is also a national park with some of Italy's highest mountain ranges and protected species like bears and wolves. Aprutium, the older name of the region, is a combination of a tribe's name and the name of their leader. Many Romans used to have second homes here when the empire was flourishing, and today people here are said to be very hospitable, almost to the point of force feeding their guests with large amounts of food. And speaking of food, the typical dish here is arrosticini, which are grilled skewers of mutton. The most important settlements in Abruzzo are the cities of Aquila, sadly hit by a big earthquake in 2009, and Pescara, a city with beautiful beaches. Around 1.3 million Italians live here, and the region is geographically centered but considered part of southern Italy because of its culture and history. People speak a typical southern dialect mixed with influences from central Italy and Campania. They have the strongest economy in the south and the world's largest underground particle physics center. Aosta Valley is the smallest of all Italian regions and with the smallest population too, but it makes up for it with mountains, including some of the highest peaks in Italy like Monte Rosa, Matterhorn, and Gran Paradiso. Mont Blanc, the tallest peak in Europe, is also found here and is shared between Italy and France. And speaking of France, in Aosta Valley, French is taught in schools, and when cooking, they prefer butter over olive oil, which is very un Italian. The name of the region comes from the Emperor Augustus, who claimed the land around 25 BC. There are plenty of castles and Roman ruins to be explored. It's known to be great for skiing, and winter tourism is the main engine for the region's economy. Basilicata is the region that was named after the Byzantines and is derived from the title Basileus. Exactly why they did that is a bit of a mystery, and to make things a bit more complicated, inhabitants here are called Lucanians, which is coming from the region's previous name, Lucania. One certain thing, before the Romans and Byzantines, this region was inhabited already. In fact, it is home to one of the world's oldest cities, carved in stone and called Sassi di Matera, a UNESCO World Heritage Site dating back more than 10,000 years. Even more astonishing, Matera is still inhabited and is incredibly beautiful and unique, a true mirror to the beginnings of humanity itself. The region is mainly mountainous, with a small coastline, and the biggest city and the capital is called Potenza, famous for the amount of public workers and tomato farmers. Because of the geography, industrial and agricultural development are difficult, and tough conditions are currently driving the young population away from the region. Salsiccia sausage is believed to have originated from Basilicata, and they produce the bitter liquor Amaro Lucano. People here mark their bread with seals called timbri del pan, and in total there are about 500,000 Lucanians, the toe of Italy or tip of the boot. Calabria received its name either from Greek words meaning beautiful vegetation or from Latin words which described it as land of mountains. And both these descriptions are accurate. It's a place with ancient history. Greeks also refer to the people living here as Itali, and thus it's also believed the name of the country originates here. Calabrians are said to be stubborn and speak with a strong dialect, as if they had just eaten something spicy, which they probably did, since pepperoncino is a favorite spice in their cuisine and key ingredient in the famous induja. The geography here is mountainous, including parts of the Apennines, and also has the longest coastline in Italy after Puglia and the islands. Calabria is a place of rugged natural beauty, inhabited by almost 2 million people that speak a dialect derived from Neapolitan in the north of the region and the Sicilian derived one in the south, as well as Greco, an ancient Greek dialect present in the south of Italy. Deriving its name from Campania Felix, the Roman name for the region meant happy countryside. And I would have to imagine people here have to be indeed happy. I mean, they have some of the best cuisine in the world. Literally invented pizza and mozzarella, gorgeous destinations like Sorrento, Amalfi, or Capri are here, and Naples has one of the best nightlife scenes in Italy. Not surprising, the region was disputed throughout its history, and besides the Romans, Lombards, Byzantines, Normans, Spanish, and Bourbons all tried to control this land. Nature itself lays claim to Campania, with Mount Vesuvius overlooking Naples, and posing a constant threat to the population, after it already froze in time Pompeii and Herculaneum in 79 AD. On top of that, it is the third most populated region in Italy, and the third biggest city in Italy is Naples, with narrow streets, artistic and architectural treasures, including loads of UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Almost 5.5 million people live here in places like Naples, Benevento, Caserta, Salerno, or Avellino, and key economic activities include tourism, services, and shipping sectors. The Campanian dialect is spoken, and there is even the Neapolitan language, culturally unimportant but without an official status. People here are believed to be superstitious, chatty, and big football fans. Emilia-Romagna. This region's name is a mix between Emilia, coming from an ancient Roman road called Via Emilia, and Romagna, a reference to the Roman Empire. Inhabitants of this region are hardworking and hospitable, lively and open-minded, and they live in cities like Bologna, famous for covered walkways and the oldest university in Italy, Maranello, the birthplace of Ferrari cars, and Parma, where Parmesan and Parma ham are being produced, or Modena, where the renowned balsamic vinegar comes from. Emilia-Romagna is often referred to as the kitchen of Italy, thanks to products like cheese, ham, vinegar, tortellini, tagliatelle, ravioli, lasagna, piadina, or ragu, originating from here, though it could also easily be referred to as the motoring capital of Italy, since besides Ferrari, this is also home to Ducati, Lamborghini, and Maserati. Emilia-Romagna stretches from the Adriatic coast to Liguria, and the geography includes Apennine Mountains, beautiful seaside, and the Po Valley. The region is populated by 4.5 million people and is one of Europe's richest area. It's where the Italian flag was first displayed in 1797, and within its borders you can also find the state of San Marino. Friuli Venezia Giulia is a region with a name that is a mouthful, but it's a great lesson in history. Friuli comes from Forum Iulii, an old Roman forum, while Venezia is an obvious nod to the former Venetian Republic. Finally, Giulia pays tribute to the ancient Roman family gens Julia, a family that included figures like Julius Caesar and Emperor Augustus. This place is a melting pot of German and Slovenian influences, and the people are often described as reserved and underrated. There is a bit of a local rivalry between those from Udine and Trieste, but overall is known as a peaceful area where nothing ever really happens. Trieste is famous for its powerful and cold wind, the Bora, which blows in from the north, and is also one of Europe's most important ports. The other key city in the region is Udine, a smaller, more understated place. When it comes to food, you'll find plenty of hearty dishes like frico, a cheesy potato pancake, and of course the renowned prosciutto San Daniele. This is a special status region within Italy and home to about 1.2 million people. The borders are a direct result of world wars, and its linguistic and cultural diversity is a point of pride. You'll hear a mix of Italian, Friulian, German, and Slovenian, along with Venetian dialects. It was also the first Italian region to get rid of its provinces back in 2016. Lazio. The name Lazio either comes from the mythological king Latinus or from the Latin word latus, meaning flat and wide, a perfect description for some of its terrain. The word Latin itself is derived from the name of this region. The locals here are stereotyped as loud, great fans of food and scooters, and sometimes joked about as being bad drivers. There's a fierce football rivalry between the teams Roma and Lazio, which pretty much sums up the passionate and chaotic beautiful vibe of Rome itself. And speaking of Rome, it's the capital of Italy and a globally significant city. It's home to Vatican City, which is a microstate, and is the most visited city in Italy. Beyond the ancient ruins of the capital, you can explore the peculiar Park of Monsters in Bomarzo or enjoy the annual wine festival in Marino. And if Napoli is the pizza capital of the world, Rome definitely is the capital of pasta, with classic dishes like amatriciana, carbonara, and cacio e pepe taking the spotlight. This is Italy's second most populous region, with nearly 6 million inhabitants, and most of them live in or around the capital. The region's history is deeply tied to the Roman Empire, and the legend of Rome's birth is linked to two twins raised by a wolf, Romulus and Remus. Until 1870, it was part of the Papal States. The local languages are a mix of Median and Southern Italian dialects, with the Roman dialect often considered a language in its own right. Liguria. While the name's origin is a bit of a mystery, is believed to come from the ancient Ligurian people who once lived here. People from the region are stereotyped as being a little unfriendly, and there's a classic Italian saying that they have short arms, which is a playful way of saying they're not quick to reach for their wallets. The capital, Genoa, is described as a gritty industrial city, but it's also a major port and was the birthplace of Christopher Columbus, and also home to a fantastic aquarium. The geography here is unique, and it's a very narrow strip of land sandwiched between the mountains and the sea. Despite its small size, it's a major economic hub, relying on agriculture, fishing, and the bustling port of Genoa. About 1.5 million inhabitants are spread across 4 provinces in this region. One of the most important landmarks is Cinque Terre, a famous stretch of rugged coastline and 5 picturesque villages. And when it comes to food, Liguria gave the world pesto, a delicious sauce made from basil, pine nuts, garlic, and olive oil. Focaccia, a flat oven baked bread, is another beloved local treat. The region is right next to France and Monaco, and its local language, Ligurian, often extends into parts of France. It's also home to Italy's first official football club, Lombardy. The name of this region comes from the Lombards, a Germanic tribe that ruled Italy in the Middle Ages, and it means long beards. People are sometimes portrayed as workaholics, and they're known for their fast-paced, work-focused cultures. And folks from Milan, the capital of the region, are seen as always being in a rush. Milan truly is the no-nonsense business, finance, and industrial capital of Italy. It's one of the world's major fashion capitals and home to the famous La Scala Opera House. But the region isn't all work and no play. It's also home to some of Italy's most famous lakes, including the sprawling Lake Garda, the picturesque Lake Como, and the serene Lake Maggiore. When you're hungry, the most famous dish here is risotto alla milanese, a creamy rice dish with saffron. Lombardy is the most populated region in Italy, with about 10 million inhabitants, and the majority live in and around the bustling city of Milan. It's a huge economic powerhouse, contributing a staggering one-fifth of the national GDP. The region's name comes from the Germanic people who occupied the area, but surprisingly, after all that time, various Lombard dialects are still spoken in addition to Italian. The name Marche is derived from a word which means borderland, and it's a fitting name since the area was historically made up of several border regions. It's an often overlooked region with a perfect blend of mountains and sea, and the famous saying about the locals stems from their history as tax collectors for the Pope. The capital is the small and quiet city of Ancona, but other notable locations include Urbino, the birthplace of the famous artist Raphael, and the stunning Frasassi Caves. The cuisine here is a delightful surprise. A typical local dish is oliva alla scolana, which are fried olives stuffed with meat. The region is also highly praised for its abundant truffles. Marche has about 1.5 million inhabitants and is known for its strong economy, which combines productivity from its small, medium-sized enterprises with a good quality of life. The region's name comes from the Germanic word marca, and historically, various marquisates united to form the current region. Linguistically, it forms a continuum with Umbria and Lazio, featuring a mix of Gallo-Italic, Central, and Southern Italian dialects. Molise. This small region is so mysterious and forgotten that there's a running joke amongst Italians that it doesn't exist. Its name origin is uncertain, but one theory connects it to the Latin word molar, meaning mill. People here are known for their calm and peaceful atmosphere, and the region is said to be full of superstitious grandmothers. The largest city and capital is Campobasso and is home to the impressive Monforte Castle. There's also the Roman town of Sepium and Agnone, which is home to the Bell Foundry of Agnone, one of the world's oldest companies. When it comes to food, the region is famous for its excellent truffles. Molise became its own separate region in 1963, making it the second smallest in Italy, with only about 300,000 inhabitants across 2 provinces. Its GDP per capita is one of the highest in southern Italy. The name comes from a historical fiefdom and is home to ethnic and linguistic minorities, including Molise Croats. Fun fact, Robert De Niro's great-grandparents came from the village of Ferrazzano in Molise. Piedmont. The name Piedmont comes from the Latin Pedemontes, which means at the foot of the mountains, a perfect description for its location surrounded by the Alps. People here are often seen as the Italian version of the French, snobby, serious, and rich, but also very reliable. The stereotype is that everyone either works for Fiat or is a farmer. Turin is the most important city, and it holds the prestigious title of Italy's first capital. It's the birthplace of both Fiat and the Moka pot, as well as the world's favorite hazelnut spread, Nutella. There's also a curious place called Viganella that installed a giant mirror on a mountain to reflect sunlight into the town. When it comes to food, a famous dish is bagna cauda, a hot dip made with garlic and anchovies. This is the second largest region in Italy after Sicily, with a population of about 4.3 million people. The Turin metropolitan area alone has about 2 million inhabitants. The region is an industrial powerhouse, home to historical companies like Fiat, Iveco, Cirio, and Lavazza. Its history is closely linked to the unification of Italy, and it's also the birthplace of the Po River. The region is linguistically diverse with 5 historical languages besides Italian, including Piedmontese and French. The name Puglia is believed to come from the ancient tribe called the Lapigian, and it was historically referred to in the plural as the Apulias. These people are described as being nice and cheerful, and less southern than other southerners. They love to dance and party and have a very relaxed, take it easy attitude. Like many Italian regions, there's a rivalry between people from the cities of Bari and Lecce. Puglia is known for some truly unique landmarks. Alberobello is famous for its truly unique dry stone houses with conical roofs. Salento, the tip of the region, boasts some of the country's best beaches. Another must-see is the symmetrical, octagonal fortress of Castel del Monte. The region's cuisine is as beautiful as its beaches, with a focus on fresh local ingredients, olive oil, and seafood. Puglia is home to 4 million people. It has the longest coastline on mainland Italy, stretching for 865 kilometers, and almost all of it is suitable for swimming, with amazing beaches and crystal clear waters. The economy is heavily agricultural, producing a huge amount of Italy's olive oil and wine. The region's history has seen various dominations after the fall of Rome. Many dialects are spoken here, and today is a loved destination for holiday makers and sea enthusiasts. Sardinia. The origin of the name Sardinia is unknown, though some theories suggest it comes from the Greek name Sardo or the pre-Roman name Sard. Interestingly, the word sardonic may even be related. Sardinians are stereotyped as stubborn and hard-working people who, according to some studies, live forever. They're often compared to the Welsh because of sheep jolts, and there is a strong sense of pride and a visible independence movement. The population is seen as a mix of shepherds and wealthy mainland elites on vacation. Sardinia is a popular luxury vacation spot with stunning sea and mountain landscapes. It's famous for its ancient Nuragic civilization and their unique stone towers, the Nuraghi, which you can find all over the island. The cuisine is as unique as the island's culture. They produce delicious cheese, including Pecorino Sardo and most of the Pecorino Romano cheese. There's also a notorious and illegal local delicacy called casu marzu, a cheese filled with live worms. As the second largest island in the Mediterranean, Sardinia is also the third largest Italian region by area, and 1.65 million people call this home. The economy heavily relies on tourism, attracting millions annually. It's an autonomous region with a special status, and its historical language, Sardo, is considered one of the most conservative Romance languages. Catalan is also spoken in the city of Alghero. Sicily, named after the ancient Sicel people who lived here. Sicily is a region with fiery reputation. People here are stereotyped as hot-blooded who speak an ancient language. They are also seen as bad drivers, just like people from Lazio, but they are also known for being incredibly hospitable, sincere, and easygoing. The region is famous for its vast family connections. Basically, everyone is related to everybody. As the largest island in the Mediterranean, Sicily is home to not one, but 3 volcanoes: the majestic Mount Etna, one of Europe's highest and most active, as well as Stromboli and Vulcano. The island is also a treasure trove of history, famous for its elaborate Sicilian Baroque architecture, the Valley of the Temples, and the city of Syracuse, the birthplace of the legendary Archimedes. The cuisine here is incredibly rich and famous for its desserts, like cannoli and cassata, as well as other specialties like pacchino tomatoes and citrus fruits. Sicily is the largest Italian region by area, and the fifth by the population, with about 5 million inhabitants. The economy is primarily based on agriculture, tourism, and mining. It's an autonomous region with a special statute, and its history is a blend of Greek, Arab, Roman, Byzantine, Norman, Angevin, Aragonese, and Bourbon influences. While Italian is the official language, a large part of the population still speaks Sicilian. Trentino Alto Adige. This autonomous region is a unique blend of cultures, often described as half Austria and half Italy. The name Trentino comes from the city of Trento, whose name means free teeth, and refers to the 3 hills that surround it. Alto Adige refers to its location as the southern part of the historic Tyrol region. People here are known for being tidy, precise, friendly, and hardworking. The Italian side around Trento is associated with hiking and biking, while the German half around Bolzano is known for its schnitzel and beer. The region is a paradise for outdoor enthusiasts, with the stunning Dolomites and the Alps making it a prime destination for skiing. The cuisine is heavily influenced by German-speaking countries, and the typical product is speck, a type of cured ham. With about 1 million inhabitants, is one of the 3 special status regions in northern Italy. The territory is almost entirely mountainous, with peaks reaching up to 3,900 meters. Tourism is the main activity here year-round. It's an autonomous region with 2 official languages, Italian and German, and the minority language Ladin is also spoken. The northern part is often called South Tyrol, its Austrian name from before 1918. The name Tuscany comes from the ancient Tuscan people, with one theory suggesting it's related to their word for water. Tuscans are portrayed as being overconfident and using the absolute worst swear words in Italy, and they are known for their intense city rivalries. The region is famous for its breathtaking landscapes and is often called the living museum. The capital, Florence, is the cradle of the Renaissance. Other key cities include Pisa, home to the world-famous Leaning Tower, and Siena, which hosts a traditional bareback horse race. The cuisine is legendary, famous for its Chianti wine and the exquisite bistecca alla Fiorentina, or Florentine steak. Tuscany is home to 3.7 million inhabitants, and its economy is a mix of industrial districts, agriculture, and tourism, attracting about 6 million tourists annually. The region has given the world many illustrious Italians, including Leonardo da Vinci, and it's no surprise that the Tuscan idiom forms the basis of the Italian language, thanks to literary giants like Dante. Umbria. The name Umbria comes from the ancient Umbri people, with one theory from Pliny the Elder suggesting it comes from the Greek word for people of the thunderstorm. The color pigment umber is also named after this beautiful, landlocked region. It's considered a rural region full of green hills and charming medieval towns, and the people are known for having a great sense of humor. The fact that it's the only region in central Italy without a coastline, it's a running joke. The capital is Perugia, known for its fantastic jazz and delicious chocolate. Another key location is Assisi, the city of St. Francis and St. Clair. You can also visit the beautiful Lago Trasimeno. When it comes to food, Umbria is famous for its truffles and would, according to local jokes, put them on everything if they could afford to. Umbria is located right in the heart of the peninsula, with about 885,000 inhabitants. It's divided into two provinces, Perugia and Terni. Its history includes occupations by Lombards and Byzantines, and the local languages belong to the Median Italian dialectal group. Veneto. The name of this region likely comes from the ancient Veneti people, although the origin of their name is a mystery. Venetians are stereotyped as hard-working, alcoholic, and fond of cursing and eating polenta. They are said to own a lot of land and a tractor, and have a strong dislike for southerners, especially Romans. There's a cultural divide with people from Venice, seen as Grand Signori, who hate tourists, and Veronese, described as super right-wing. The region is considered culturally fragmented. Venice is the capital and the second most visited city in Italy, famously built on wooden pilings. It's also where the word ciao is said to have originated. Verona is the region's largest city though, and is the setting for Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. It's also home to a massive Roman amphitheater, the Verona Arena, which is still in use today. The region's geography includes the stunning Dolomite foothills, part of the Alps. When it comes to food and drink, Veneto is the home of Prosecco, the most exported Italian wine, and tiramisu was invented in the city of Treviso. Polenta is a staple food, and the famous Amarone wine also comes from here. Veneto attracts the most tourists in Italy and has nearly 5 million inhabitants. It is one of Italy's wealthiest and most productive regions, with many companies in the textile, chemical, and manufacturing sectors. The region was the center of the powerful Venetian Empire, a major maritime power, and played a significant role in the Risorgimento. In addition to Italian and Venetian, three indigenous languages, Cimbrian, Latin, and Friulian, are also spoken here. Starting with Abruzzo and ending with Veneto, within Italy, in every region you can discover incredible art, loads of history, and fantastic cuisine. And Italians, that make everything work, usually. And even when things don't work, it's still part of the charm of this country. So don't be too upset about it. It's the Italian way. That was it for this video. Feel free to give us a like, or why not join our growing community. And until next time, ciao!